Hello, y'all. I'm back with another video. Today, I wanted to talk about your story not being someone else's story. And like I said, the reason why I'm always sharing videos with y'all is because these are things that are happening in my life, things that I'm experiencing. Just as I learn, I want other people to learn. So yes, when we get like to a certain age and not necessarily, yeah, usually it's an age we say, oh, I should have this, or I want this, and this. And it's just like, that may not be the plan that God has for you, but we're still just, we have these things in our mind, just like, we think about going to school, going to school for a certain degree, and then you get out with that degree and then you don't even go. And it's like, did I go for me or did I go for somebody else? But yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about in particular, and it's kind of like story time, but it made me realize that my story is not going to be someone else's story. When I heard about two particular ladies that were going through, they both were battling cancer. They weren't battling at the same time, but of course, this can be happening at the same time, whatever your situation is, you in a friend group or whatever. So it, kind of place whatever it is that you are experiencing in with this story. So yeah, they were battling cancer and one person did the chemotherapy and all the things that the doctor suggested, and then the other one took the more natural route where they didn't go to chemotherapy. They went to a holistic doctor where they use like natural things. So, maybe I can't eat this or I have to have certain vitamins and all that stuff. And of course, at the end of the process, both were healed, but they had different battles that they faced during their, I would say, treatment. Yeah, during their treatment. And so I wanted to just kind of hone in on that a little bit when I'm just talking about life. Because sometimes we look at other people, and even for YouTube, for example, it's, okay, I seen somebody else do this on YouTube, so maybe I should do that. And it's just like, not saying you shouldn't do YouTube, but maybe you're supposed to come on there and do something else. And maybe you're not supposed to do it at that age, and so I don't know. I want to be as specific as possible, but also kind of like broad, because I want you to be able to plug your own situation in it and not feel like, oh, okay, since she didn't say this, it doesn't apply to me. It's like, yeah, it applies to you as well. So with me, I might say, I don't know if it's anything in particular right now, but it was just like, wanting to get a home. This was a couple of years ago. I was wanting to get a home, and I was just like, Lord, I should be getting a home, And not to say that I saw other people getting a home, but I'm just thinking, okay, I don't want to do this. I want to be able to do this, I had every excuse to get this home, right? And the Lord just basically told me, not now. Of course, I was disappointed in that, because those weren't the words I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear, yes, you're getting a home right now, but that wasn't the case for me. And most of the time we think because something doesn't happen in the season that it's not going to happen at all. And that's not true. I'm coming on here to encourage you, not to have you feel like to give up hope. No, this is of encouragement to say, like, even if it's not working right now, don't think that it won't happen in the future, because it could possibly do so. So yeah, of course, I'm still, I have that mind and thinking about, that house, because it's going to be coming soon. But I have to realize that it's a process in it, and my process is different from other people. And one thing that one of the ladies that was battling cancer said, and I was like, man, that speaks so much volume. I always say speak volume, but it just brought like a light bulb went off when she said, when God allows things to happen in the same process, the way other people, I guess, experience the blessing, we start praising the process. And I was like, you're right. Because then we'll say, well, they did it, on Monday they wore green shoes, on Tuesday they wore red shoes. And so I have to do it this way in order for it to work. And God is saying, no, that's not. I want you to look to me, and I'm going to give you a path to follow, but it may not look like somebody else, but you're still going to get whatever I have told you that you're going to get. And I just wanted y'all to be reminded of that, and to remind myself, like I said, anytime I'm making a video, it's more so for my ears to hear, not necessarily for yours, but I hope you can hear and that you're blessed by it, because I'm just like, oh my, we're all living in a place where we're often settling because we think, oh, if it's not happening right now, then it's never going to happen. Or we're striding where we're trying to make things happen in a season that is not supposed to be happening. And in both of those, on the flip side of both of those, it becomes frustration because first off, you're working so hard to keep something, or you stop working because something is not happening, and then they both end up with frustration when the Lord just wanted you to trust his timing. And so, yeah, of course, you're going to go through different seasons where you have to trust, and just because you get over, one hump don't mean that it's not going to be another one to come to try to trip you up, because, of course, that's the way of the enemy. Wants you to stop, wants you to give up hope. It's like, no, I'm here to encourage you to keep going, and to know that your process may not look like somebody else's, but you will see, I'm getting a little biblical on you. You will see the promised land. You will see whatever it is that God has promised you. So, yeah, and that's regards to anything, whereas, a career that you're looking for, a house, a relationship, or, a car, material things, because most of the time that's what it is. It's something material, not something that we're not necessarily longing for heaven, and as we should, but it's like while we're here on earth, it's earthly things that we often want. And so when we don't get those things, or we feel like we're not getting it in a time in which we think we should, or we thought we should have gotten it, then we get like upset and we get mad. And it's just like, no, I'm here to tell you, don't get mad, don't get upset, but trust the process in which God is taking you through right now, because it's for your good. And of course it's going to be for his glory, because at the end of the day, we're not going to be able to say this worked out because of me. We're going to be able to look to God and say, oh my, this worked out because of him and what he was trying to work in me, and for me to be able to encourage other people along the process, because we don't realize that people have different stories, because everybody goes through different things. Nobody lived in the same exact household. So it's just like, it wouldn't even be, I wouldn't say fair, but it wouldn't even make sense for things to work out in a way for me that it worked out for somebody else that lived in a totally different, area, different household, different parents. I mean, everything's different. So not saying that can't happen, because hey, it can't happen, but it's like, it will be kind of like a letdown when it does happen in that way, because I also think, well, oh, it was supposed to happen that way, because that's what the plan was. And we have to not get principle mixed up with that, because principle will work all the time. Principle, never changes, reaping and sowing. But it's like other things, we have to realize that that's not principle. It's like, oh, okay, I may have to do something else because this isn't principle, So I hope you're able to follow me on this and able to actually get something from this video, because that's what I'm all about, is just encouraging you and wanting you to become a better you, like myself, just trying to become a better person, because that's the only way we'll see the world change. And my new saying, of course, is be the change you want to see in someone else. Remember, be the change you want to see in someone else. Till next time. And thank you for watching.